Here we are today, folks, for a quick interview. I'm your host, Sully, and today we got Chela away, the podcaster and model. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. And yourself?
I cannot complain. So, you had a very diverse career, and I got to applaud anyone who can do that, wear different hats, and do what they love.
Thank
You've
you.
had numerous health and fitness people on your podcast, talked about mental health also.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
You're a social media influencer.
Yeah,
You're
yeah. I got
mixed.
lucky.
Yeah, you're a mixed heritage, Afro Latina, and you're
I'm
based in
actually Jamaican and Cuban.
Jamaican and Cuban. Okay, well,
Yeah.
so I'm glad you corrected me there.
Yeah, a
Yep.
lot of people read like stuff that people write and they're like in India and places like that. And they just kind of like gather information that they see.
All right.
And
Well,
it could be, inaccurate and they'll still make bio.
well, Steve, they'll keep reposting it, so now that rumor or mistruth is now a fact. So
Yeah.
biographymass.com, get your shit together. You were born in the Bronx, New York City.
Yes, I am from the Bronx. Yep.
Nice. And much like my background here, you're based in San Francisco now.
Okay. We're in San Francisco.
Awesome. And you're a fan of owls and dogs.
Yeah, actually, I'm a licensed veterinary technician, and I also
Yep.
recently, in the last period, like last,
You're a Falcon
I want to
handler.
say, yeah, got into falconry and as well
Nice.
as wildlife rehabilitation, which I also got certified in hunting.
Oh wow.
So that's a whole new venture. It's no different to me. Working with animals is all the same. However, I'm just dealing with wild animals now.
Very cool. Uh, why do you think you have the interest, time, and patience for that? Because not everyone seems to. It's kind of
You know,
like anything; they want to do
yeah,
a shortcut.
yeah, a lot of people want a shortcut to this. However, when you think about it, a lot of people have this stigma with wildlife. They automatically think, "Don't come in contact, stay away. There's danger involved." And although a majority of that is true, at the end of the day, a lot of people are embedded with this fear of something they've never even encountered.
Yeah,
So my goal is to educate children, especially the ones from the inner city that have no knowledge of this stuff, because they've been taught to fear something they've never even experienced. And
hmm
that's not healthy when you think about it
no.
psychologically. Look the amount of people that have fear towards something they've never experienced.
Oh yeah,
And
there's so much fear
it's
mongering.
it's unsettling. It's unsettling when you think about it, because at the end of the day, how much are you not accomplishing as an individual because you're afraid of something because you
Bingo.
heard from someone else you should be afraid.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to break people out of that sheeple way of thinking, because that's what I call it, sheeple, not people. I call it a sheeple way of thinking. So if I could
Don't be a
undo
sheep.
that,
Yeah.
don't be a sheep, right? So my goal entirely with this program that I'm putting together using Achilles is so that people can educate themselves on the truth behind dealing with wild animals. Yes, there's a danger involved because you should stay away from them when they're completely wild. But at the end of the day, if you're educated and know how to take a positive approach, you can actually become a handler in a safe way. You can actually rehabilitate in a safe way. And these are things that I'm trying to enlighten people on, so that they're just not deathly afraid. I'm just tired of seeing people say things like, "Oh,
It's in our
won't they pick
entertainment.
your eye out?" Yeah, won't they pick your eye out? Or won't they eat your dog? Won't they eat your cat? It doesn't work that
I
way.
can relate. My parents got a rabbit, and I help out with their different pets in this bizarre household. But it's interesting how same deal. A friend will come over, and they're like, "No, I don't want to touch it. It's gonna bite my arm." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Where?
like, and I'm
How?"
like, lagomorph, totally not gonna
No.
bite you, but
Same thing with
okay.
sharks and snakes. They're only going to attack you if there's blood in the water or if
Right.
you're in
A
the
lot of
turf.
people are truly misinformed by the true nature and what drives these animals, the carnal desire that allows them to feel like they have to, and it's all about food. They're hungry.
Right? And
Why be present when an animal's hungry?
a hawk can have a purpose anywhere. It doesn't have to be in just a zoo or a circus.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. See, the thing about it is a lot of people don't know the entire purpose of falconry is basically assisting the animal with his natural way of living, which is hunting. So
Mhm.
you're doing it for sport. You're basically just training him to trust you to work with him. That's all falconry is, in short. In the interim, what I'm doing with Achilles is deeper than falconry, though. being the fact that he's going to be a demonstration bird. There's just so much more to his training process. So we're surpassing falconry.
Lovely. What other future ambitions do you have, especially with your diverse career? Are you gonna keep doing more of the podcasting, modeling, and
I'm considering doing more podcasting. I just haven't. I fell off the wagon because I feel like the culture has just become so toxic.
there's
I feel
so
like
much to do that you
Yeah,
have no
like
idea.
you like it's become nothing but playful banter than it was,
Yes,
positive information that can be utilized.
I tagged a
And
bunch of podcasters about a
yeah,
month ago, just giving them fake accolades, just saying, "Hey, love what you do. Hey, best
right.
multi-review podcast. Hey, best pop culture podcast. Best
Yeah, like when you think
podcast."
about it, like they have that pretty good. There's a one called Morbid something, that Morbid Curiosity, I think is a podcast. That one's
Morbid
pretty good.
curiosity. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah, where
check
they
that
talk
out.
about like murder episodes. That one's pretty good. Really, really good following
I
they
see
have as
it.
well.
Research-based history podcast. Okay, cool.
Right. I'm a big fan of Jordan Peterson. He's on the Daily Wire.
Hmm.
I don't really listen to a lot of stuff. I mean, I do like Theo Vaughn. I think he's pretty cool, but
He's
when he's
hysterical.
not like, yeah, when he's not zooted, like he's fun to listen to. He's deep, but for the most part, he's very like antisocial. For someone to be in such a social
Mm,
platform, he's so antisocial.
that's a shame.
And then yeah, you could tell like the way he's like he doesn't like to be hugged. He doesn't like that. I'm like, I get it, but
Either way, I tagged a bunch of these guys in a post, and
hmm
without fail, there was like 5 different people whose comments I had to just delete because they were like, "Why didn't you tag me?" I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even know you existed. I'm sorry."
Right. There's just like a whole like myriad of podcasts out there.
I
And
only
the thing about
listed
it
40
is,
people, so I'm sorry.
but when you think about it, how many of them really stand for anything positive or anything that the society can utilize for their benefit? Most of the time, it's all about sex and relationships. And at that point, like that doesn't help people get by.
No.
I mean,
Mm-mm.
on a superficial level, maybe, but
More
how many
insecurity
of these
is what it
people are
creates.
really, really utilizing this information towards finances? How many people are practicing better moral stances because of what they're hearing? We're not putting that kind of information out there. So,
Right?
with my podcast, that was the entire premise. So when I saw that things were shifting, I knew that my one self, wasn't strong enough to shift it back in that positive direction. So I'm not gonna lie, it caused me to concede, which was probably a cowardice move. But with that being said, I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah. Just take a break from it. Even restructure it, I guess, if you want. Don't ever let people tell you what to do. Like, just you already clearly value your time and efforts, so don't let anyone push you around.
Of course.
So now that you're a hawk handler, have you been thinking of even doing a side hustle like that, like appearing at like kids' birthday parties or fun
Yeah,
talent shows?
we're actually the nature program that I'm working on will entail private events as well as public events. So the public events, of course, naturally, those are going to be free. Those are going to be
Sweet.
ran off of donations, and then the private events, of course, that naturally comes with an entire different um, package and how to pay for that. And but the money all goes to the same efforts, which are to feed and house the animals that are going to be in the program.
Cool.
Yeah.
Uh, do you think, aside from your fearlessness, what do you think just really ultimately keeps you going every day?
Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really love animals. Just like every day, getting up, making sure that they have the best of life, they're well taken care of. You know, um, that kind of stuff has always floated my boat since I was a kid.
Sweet.
Early childhood, I was always an animal lover, always getting up early, taking care. Listen, I'll get up early to take care of an animal than I will for an appointment.
Right? Absolutely. As opposed
I won't
to
make it to an appointment on time, but I will get up at the crack of dawn and feed animals.
totally. And well, plus half the time that sometimes even the appointers will cancel on
Right,
you.
they're
So it's
late
like,
too, so who cares?
yeah, well, what does it really matter? We got a 12-hour window. I think we can deal.
Right.
um and uh, now that you've worn these various hats and yeah, you're striving for what you truly want to do.
Hmm.
What other personal advice would you just recommend to anyone else other than, again, be fearless and not get pushed around?
Um, Pay attention to how things change and make sure that you're able to keep up with that change.
Perfect. Adapt.
Yep. Adaptation is very important, especially in the new world that we live in today.
That's a good point. I do
And
feel like,
and adapting doesn't necessarily mean conform to fit in. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying adapt meaning accept the fact that things have changed
no,
and
absolutely. I
don't let it send you into a frenzy where you can't figure out what to do next. Just be prepared and
bingo,
understand that you have or don't have a place in these things, but understand that they're going to change no matter what.
bingo. I just got signed up for a different gym just so I can get better sleep just by getting some workouts in. But that was a lot of, hey, I want to do this. No, you just got to make time for this instead of saying I
Hmm.
won't, I will, I might. um, do you feel like people often mistake adapting as change entirely, like become a different identity persona
Yes, I
instead?
think some people that don't understand having balance take that to the extreme. See, the
Yeah,
ones that have balance understand that that's not an extreme. That's inevitability. There's nothing that can be done. That's just the way the world works, and that you got to roll with the punches. For the ones that aren't good with change, they'll take that to the extreme.
bingo.
It shouldn't create a world of worry. It should just
Yeah,
create a world of preparation.
absolutely. Instead of just all this other just nonsense that's gonna drive you crazy.
Right, 100%.
Uh, what other stuff are you thinking like to strive for?
Well, ultimately, we're intending to add more animals to the program. Right now, Achilles is the main star, but eventually, we're going to get some other animals, alpacas, probably, possibly. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe a kinkajou or a flying squirrel or bush baby, but we're definitely going to get
Sweet.
animals that are very interactive for children to physically experience. Because I mean, Achilles is definitely not going to be that, but he'll definitely be the star of the show with his demonstrations.
Wonderful. Um, anything else you'd like to promote or recommend?
Um, yeah, listen, just so you guys know, there's a new app that's out. It's called Fanmire. If you haven't joined, don't be afraid to go create your account. You can even create a subscription price. People can actually purchase content. And if not, they could just join your world. But nonetheless, Fanmire is going to be a new two-way receiving app that is going to be separate from Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And only because Fanmire is the only app that's going to allow people to connect with their fans. Literally, Fanmire itself will be funding events for their creators and influencers so
Van
that they can
Meyer.
actually, yep, Fanmire, so they can
I see it.
actually connect with their fans. So I just recently did a Doja Cat Ice Spice concert, and I invited 3 fans from Fanmire who subscribed and followed all the rules,
Oh, wow.
and Fanmire funded the suite, and they were able to watch the concert from a suite. So it was an amazing experience, and that's the only place that I know that offers those types of experiences with fans and creators. So if you guys
Yeah,
haven't
because
done it yet,
Patreon, you got to invest before you see any return on that, you know?
yeah, exactly. So that's why I said Fanmire is a new way to do things. Like you can literally upload full length videos. The only thing they haven't tapped into is the live feature yet, but as far as everything else concerned, it's definitely there.
Awesome. Okay. Well,
So if you haven't checked it out, maybe you should upload some content there as well for your work. It's called fanmire.com.
perfect. Well, thank you so much for this quick interview, and you be safe out there.
You too. You
I
too. And
Godspeed.
many blessings.
We'll return after these messages.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, "Give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win." On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and foodie debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in. It's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
Do you ever find yourself thinking about who would win in a fight between Goku and Superman? Hi, I'm James Gavsey, and on the Who Would Win show, me and my co-host Ray ignore anything important happening in the outside world and debate fictional battles between characters from comics, movies, and video games.
We got a new show every week, and almost always am I the winner.
Yeah, not true, Ray.
In the past, we've discussed such matches as Captain America versus Darth Vader, Solid Snake versus the Iron Giant, classic matchups like RoboCop versus Terminator, and even the Muppets versus Sesame Street.
That one was crazy. So if you're a fan of geek culture and love a spirited debate, check out the Who Would Win show wherever you get your podcasts, or check us out at whowouldwinshow.com.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up